Welcome to Leadership Lessons from Sport, and today my guest Ravi Todi, one of the faces of Bengal industry, national industry, a dear friend of mine because I've been associated with the group. So caveat at the very first that you cannot say it's conflict of interest, okay? But as part of this series, a lot of people who make sport in this country, who have taught us the aspirational story that we connect with sport, leadership lessons from sport. Raviji, welcome. Welcome to this particular episode. First question, normally you don't associate corporate leaders hands-on with sport. People still do that. But in your case, it's a rare one. You've been associated, you're part of the Cricket Association of Bengal, Apex Council, Howrah Union, Presidency, Mohun Bagan Club for a long time in the past. How did sport happen and why did it happen?
So, like Rahul, I have been very passionate about sports and, when I became Mohun Bagan cricket secretary that donkey years back, I was the first one to give Lakhi Ratan Shukla a break. He played for me for Mohun Bagan. And when I took over, there were a lot of internal politics in Mohun Bagan. So I came under a big turmoil and the entire Mohun Bagan team left, which was that time Arun Lal Pigi was the captain. They entirely left and joined East Bengal. So I remember my first meeting. Yes, and remember meeting Ashok Malhotra, a good friend of mine, and through a friend of mine, Manish Periwal. At his office, we did the first meeting where Abdul Munayam came in, the 3-4 of us came in and started making the team. So it was a different type of learning because Ravi Todi was a no one in that field. Nobody knew Ravi Todi in the sporting arena. And Mohun Bagan was going through a turmoil. So the earlier cricket secretary had a more larger role to play and a more stronger personality there. So I got into that and I think I was there for more than 10 years or 12 years. I at least won almost all the trophies in the cricket league. And I remember Devang Gandhi, Deep Das Gupta, Ashok Malhotra, entire team, what we see now, most of them have become coaches or commentators. They have played with me, And I was the first one that time. And again, as you talk about leadership, the first thing I did was bring transparency to the player because there were a lot of issues where players were not getting money. Mm-hmm. They were promised a certain sum, but they were not getting the money. So I ensured there were no middlemen. They were coming to me directly and they were being handed over their commitment amount, the checks or whatever it is.
Fantastic.
And I did that and that built the confidence of the team, the players. They saw me as a right person for the sport, and I think there was a lot of discussion on this and people started talking about it. And I think maybe, I'm not boasting, but maybe I did a little bit of change. People started getting, the players were not getting their money that time, and at least I ensured that everybody's paid what their due was.
Because you mentioned this, I've asked a number of our corporate leaders about lessons that they've learned from sport which they've subsequently applied to their corporate careers. Yeah. In your case, you lead a conglomerate, serious conglomerate. We've seen that. Have you done that as well? Have you learned lessons, life lessons from sport, which you kind of use in your board?
Yeah. It's been a learning, those 10 years or more than 10 years which I spent with Mohun Bagan was a different learning. The politics that were there, handling the players, handling the management, handling CAB, handling the egos of the CAB personnel. It was a big challenge. And I remember one particular incident where Piggy complained. There was I think it was one of the finals, and there was a lot of conflict going on. And that time in Mohun Bagan East Bengal matches, cricket was a different passion. One side Ashok Malhotra, one side Piggy, and they were the giants of Bengal cricket. And so I remember one specific incident. I had to write a 4-page letter to CAB. And that time, President was Mr. Dalmia, and he knows this game better. And
I learned my cricket.
Okay, so we've learned so much from him. And meeting him, interacting with him, I was in the CAB main committee, working committee. It was a big learning. It was a big thing which, when I reflect back, a lot of learning which I have gone through this sporting arena has come into my business. When I look at my business, when I meet my people, when I talk to customers, when I talk to government officials, I actually remember a lot of my learnings, what happened during that 10 years, how I managed, balanced satisfied the egos, balanced both the sides, saw the good, saw the bad. Players were also wrong. Sometimes the management was wrong. Sometimes the CAB officials were wrong. But getting them all together, ensuring that there was no problem for the players or the club, I learned a lot. It was a huge learning, and especially in CAB when I was in the working committee with Mr. Dalmia. So much of learning how Mr. Dalmia used to talk to the club, to play officials, and how he used to manage his team. Huge learning and a lot of politics, a lot of.
Ravi, in my case, for example, when I teach sport internationally, I mean, in my case, I can say sport has actually taught me how to fail, because each one of us in our own little domains fail every day, right? I mean, every day is imperfect. We try to be perfect in an imperfect day. In your case, do you kind of say that that's a life lesson, that you learn to overcome challenges, you learn to overcome failure, that sport kind of sort of taught you these stepping stones from failure to success?
Yes, it was. And I can tell you, because in one of the years I remember, we won 3 of the trophies, and the 4th Peace and Trophy was going on. And Chetan Sharma was playing for me because you could invite those. And I remember last over, we just needed a few runs to win, maybe 4 or 6 runs. And we still lost that game. And there were a lot of rumors that went on around. There were too many things that happened. But I lost, and that was a big learning, that we cannot take things for granted.
Correct.
You have to be at the helm of affairs. You have to be involved at every level. Don't leave any strings untied, because anything can happen. And that last over fiasco that happened taught me a lot of things. And I could reflect on it where I did mistakes in that entire, because I was there, Eden Garden, watching the match, and I took it very lightly. I thought, that these things cannot happen, but it did happen. So it was a big learning, and it's been learning for 10 years when I've gone through the journey. It's been so much of learning, handling how to ensure the balancing of the thing. And in corporate life also today, you have to balance everything.
Correct.
You have to balance the entire team, because team is very critical. Today, I cannot say I'm individual. I work with my team. I'm leading almost 800 people. So they have to be taken into account. I cannot force things on themselves. With players also, it's like that. You need to motivate them. You have to talk to them, understand their aspirations, tell them your dreams, and then work together to achieve that.
Now part of the CAB Apex Council, I mean, Saurav back at the helm, everybody's looking at him again. I mean, one of my dearest friends. And, Bengal cricket needs that leadership again in the national front, because whether it's the Ranji Trophy, whether it's the age group, again, whether it's our women's team, done very well, but that coveted trophy hasn't come. Working with Saurav, part of the Apex Council?
So just started. We just had one meeting till now, but I'm very excited. And Saurav comes back with a bang. And I've known Saurav for also a lot of years, long donkey years. And it's been his journey has been very inspirational journey. When I see his journey, how he achieved, and today even after retirement, I think the number of brand ambassadors he is doing, I think, much more than what he was. So you have to learn that how he has maintained that image. It's so important that your image needs to be clean and needs to be maintained so that you can achieve this and be respected. He goes all over the world globally. He's a global face, global ambassador. So I'm very looking forward to working with him. I take the onus on me to give more time to CAB, which I have not been able to give. Saurav always says
South
that
Africa Test match is
he's
coming.
coming. So Saurav says you have to come regularly. Ravi, you don't come. So I'm going to make it a point to be more regular now. As part of Epicon, the responsibility is there, and I hope I can fulfill his desires and his expectations from me.
Excellent. And now coming to the family, I've known Rahul for a while. Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, you and I didn't have a chance to get close in the past. But Rahul, again, his passion for sport is also quite infectious.
Oh, don't ask. It's so good to see him so motivated and so passionate about sports, and investing so much is not easy. Coming and the greatest feeling I had was when I met Paj Jindal a few months back. We had a Harvard OPM conference, which he was part of. He was a speaker. I went up and met him. I shook hands and I told I'm Rahul's brother. I'm part of Shrachi Sports. My brother. He said, "Yeah, I remember. I know Rahul. You just guys won the
Hockey,
Bengal Premier League, the Hockey Premier League,
Hockey
you know."
Indian League, yeah.
And it was so nice that he knew about Rahul and Shrachi Sports. So it was great. And I think the passion he brings in is not easy. I think I share only about 50% of that passion that he has, but he has really put his neck on the entire thing, both in physically, financially, mentally. He's fully involved.
I have to say this. I mean, it's not easy to invest this kind of energy, time,
Yeah,
and money.
so
I mean, it's
he
not
is really. So that's what I'm saying.
serious.
He has that passion, and good to see. And we need more people like him in sports, actually.
So when you guys sit together for a meal at home, what's the conversation?
So
Business or
there's
sport?
more sports now, and more the politics discussion and more debating. He'll say some stories, I'll tell him some stories. So it's always a very interesting topic that we discuss. Business doesn't come now in the discussion front. It's more sports now.
Last couple of questions, Raviji. One, from what I'm seeing, including the Bengal Super League, this is a fundamentally transformative initiative as far as I'm concerned. Because people don't generally focus on the grassroots. It's always about the top line and the ROI. What I see about Shrachi Sports and what stands out is this endeavor to try and develop the grassroots. Something that is close to you as well.
It's very, and when I was doing Mohun Bagan, I always choose to take younger players. In fact, I remember Ashok suggesting Srivat Goswami. He was a 13-year-old boy that time. And I really wanted him to play for Mohun Bagan, but I was literally forced not to make him play because he's too young to play a big club, big supporter club, because Mohun Bagan is support. But I disagree because the talent, if it is good, it will survive all that, and they need to be put into the fish. As you said, you have to put the baby
into the water. Yeah.
So he was not allowed to be put. And today, I think Srivat would have done much better. He could have played for Mohun Bagan at that age. But I'm telling you, it's very important that a young talent needs to be nourished. I always believed to have a balanced team. When I was doing Mohun Bagan, we had 5-6 mature players, and then we had about 6 to 8 youngsters pipeline who we picked up from the various coaching academies so that they can be groomed up. I ensured that they get the facilities. We didn't have a proper gym, so I tied up a swimming club where these kids used to go and do their gymming and all. I always believe now Mohun Bagan has a very good gym. At that time, the gym and all were not there. So the supporting facilities are very imperative, very important that we give to the players the exposure that is required. They have to play cricket all across, not only just the ground cricket. Here, the problem in our cricket is that the grounds are very small. So, they think if they can hit a 6 in here, they can't. You can't. You have to play in the big grounds. Unfortunately, we only have Eden Gardens as one of our big grounds, now Jadavpur, this campus. But I feel we should have more grounds, and CAB hopefully will be coming with a new stadium very soon. Dada was talking about it. I'm very excited. I'm sure I'd like to be involved in the project with Dada on that, because that's a big infrastructure development cricket needs in Bengal. And get the pipeline. Today, I feel one of the issues that Bengal cricket is dealing that we are not getting the pipeline from the districts.
Yeah, and even in football.
In football,
there is no connect between that district talent with the city talent, and that's why I think the Bengal Super League.
This is very important, and we are going to go to every district to play. The crowd is there. In fact, I feel the cricket league also should shift to the districts now.
Because that's where the hunger
is. That's where the crowd is. Eden Gardens. You and I won't go.
Yeah, because IPL to hum dikhte hai, sab kuch dikhte
so we are used to the bigger games. So districts needs it, and they will welcome it, and they will, and so much aspiration the younger players will see, and they will be inspired.
Final question, Ravi. The thing that has changed with Indian sport is now sport is a viable career. So if people are watching this, and a lot of people will, for the lessons that you're talking about, do you now think, is it possible to balance a corporate career with sport? If somebody aspires like a Tejashwin Shankar, has a Deloitte job or used to have a Deloitte job and balanced his Asian Games career, is that, or you reckon that with corporate support, with grassroots support, with government and top scheme and all of that, India hosting the Commonwealth Games, aspiring to host the Olympic Games under Prime Minister Modi's vision, you think sport has finally turned a leaf and has become a viable career option?
It is a career option, but I also feel that corporate support is very, very important, because when a player is training and he's playing, he needs a full-time focus on his game. He cannot do part-time this, part-time that. That doesn't work. The government has supported all these players who are getting jobs from the government, railways and FCIs and all the banks. Now corporate needs to come in and support these players. It's very important. They need either with sponsorship or with a job or something. But the corporate support is required now. The player needs to focus on his playing career, not on the corporate career, and he can always come back.
Sure.
After that, and today I think the best part is even after retirement, all the players have a good career in commentary or in something related to
lots of options.
coaching. There's so many levels now, so it's amazing. The corporate India is now come in a big way. I think Mr. Sanjeev Goenka, Parth Jindal has shown that this is what it is, and they are doing wonders.
Mukesh Bhai
started this thing, and everybody joined in, and it's amazing. And the money that has come in, the elevation of the level of the game has gone up. I think the football ISL started it. Cricket IPL was always there, but I think now we are looking at much younger this thing. In fact, there's a joke that India has 3 teams that can play any level of game.
Correct, in white ball.
In World Cup, in any cricket and all. So it's amazing, how we have. There's so much of pipeline. So it's important, and corporate support is required. There's no denying the fact. And I'm so happy Rahul has got into it and is with all the passion. He really is giving this sport, and good to see him fully passionately involved every way.
I'll end there. I mean, very few people walk the talk. These two brothers are. I mean, Shachi Sports and Shachi Group. As he said, corporate support is important. It's not mere talk. Try and check whether it is the Hockey India League, whether it is the launch of the Bengal Super League, whether it is to have a team in the Bengal Premier League cricket. This is one group that is walking the talk, and as Raviji said, I'm sure he'll be more hands-on with the Cricket Association of Bengal, and at home will rein Rahul in whenever he wants to sort of push more and more. But I'm sure he will do the corporate and let Rahul do sport, because he is good for sport. Raviji, thank you very much.
So much.
An
Thank you
absolute
for inviting
pleasure.
me.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.